Welcome back to another arcade fix. Well, after about a little over 3 months, I'm finally getting back to this heavy barrel, which I saved from the claws of the City of Hampton's bulk trash truck.
The Claw.
So, first thing we need to do is clean it up a little bit. Now, I done took the glass bezel off, and as you can see, the face of the monitor is real dirty, so we're going to clean that off. We're going to clean it up a little bit. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Just want to clean it up a little bit, and if we decide to go with a restoration on this, then we'll have to strip everything down and clean it out anyway. So, and we're going to have to fix that bottom. But that's going to come first. We're going to try to see if the board will work, if the power supply works, if the monitor works, if the game works. So that's what we're going to do right now. I went ahead and took the bezel. This had a cardboard bezel around the monitor, and it was held on with Velcro. Now, this is a Century cabinet, and I'm wondering if this is it looked like the original, and of course it's torn a little bit where it had been pulled out before, and I tore it a little bit too. So that can either be fixed, touched up, or as you can see, it's got a pretty bad warp in it right here. That's the top. It had another piece of Velcro on the top edge. So yeah, it would be easy enough to recreate. You could fold this out flat and cut a new one and put the bends in it and all. So we may do that if we go that route. And of course the manual came with it, so it's dirty, but no big deal. The cardboard surround is in real good shape, like brand new. No bends or tears except for the factory crease in the middle where they all come folded up. And it had a smoked plexi covering the whole works, and that's real dirty. Got some minor scratches on it, but that ought to clean up pretty well. Probably use a little bit of Novus on it. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and clean the cabinet up enough just so we can get in here and test the components and see whether we got us a diamond in the rough or somebody's junk. It's the old saying, one man's trash, another man's treasure. Well, we're about to find out. Okay, well, nothing fancy here. Just some paper towels and some Windex. So let's see if we can start with the face of this monitor. And yeah, yuck. It definitely had a few years of gunk on it, especially up around in the corners. It's probably never been cleaned since they put the kit in it. Who knows, they may not have even cleaned it then, but more than likely they did. Well, I'm liking this picture tube anyway. Even if the chassis is no good, there is zero burn. And I'm thinking this is the original monitor. I don't know that for certain, but I'm pretty sure these monitors came in Century cabinets. And the way it's set up with this particular monitor, and it's mounted sideways for the vertical game, There were some that came with a vertical mount, which mounted flat on the bottom here and was still in the vertical position. I've seen pictures of cabinets both ways, but the majority of them that had the monitor with what I call the bottom of the monitor, this is a horizontal monitor mounted vertically on the sideboard here instead of the flat board. These primarily, it looks like, came in the Century, gosh, my mind's going blank. Phoenix, the Phoenix game. So I'm thinking this originally was a Phoenix. Another giveaway is the control panel here. Now they added these rotary joysticks for heavy barrel, but the Century games had these player 1 and player 2 starting buttons right in this position, and they had these 4 buttons right here. They had right and left buttons to move your ship right and left, and then they had a fire button, and I guess the other one is like a bomb. Not real sure about that. I'd have to look at the game again. But no, shield. That's what it was, shield. Fire button and shield. So they didn't add any holes for buttons except for the holes where the 2 joysticks are. So if I was to turn this back into a Century game, then I would just have to patch the holes for the joystick. There'd be 8 holes that mount the joystick and then the hole in the middle for each one. So yeah, that won't be too bad if that's what I decide to do. But like somebody said in the comments before when they seen this, the last video, heavy barrel, a lot of people like heavy barrel. I've never played it, I don't believe. So I'm not sure how I would like it. I may love it, I don't know. But they were saying the way the control panel is set up, you'd have to be mighty close to your partner because, you know, the controls are so close together. And this cabinet probably wasn't the best conversion cabinet for this type of game. But, you know, operators did what they had to do. It was available. I guess the original game wasn't making money anymore. So they decided to convert it. And who knows, it could have been converted to something else before, but I kind of highly doubt it because it's only got these 2 joysticks. Well, it could have had standard joysticks in it too. It could have been converted to something else besides heavy barrel before. Yeah. But we're not going to worry about all that. We're just going to worry about what the future of this is going forward. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and I'm going to just spruce it up a little bit so we can get in here and see what we can do and find out what's working and what's not. Alright, I got it fairly clean. Still a few little spider webs up in the front of the cabinet there, but I'm not going to worry about those. I just wanted to get the main ones off here where I'm working. First thing we need to do, I wonder why they trashed the game. It was complete, but for some reason they cut the electric cord off. And it looked like they cut it off right where it came out the cabinet. So they never even opened the back of the cabinet. I guess they might not have had keys to it. Maybe this game was left behind by whoever lived in the house and somebody else changed hands, or it was a renter and this was left behind and they just chucked it out on the side of the road to get rid of it. But why would they cut the cord off of it? I don't know. But anyway, we're going to see if we can figure out what happened to it and what works, what don't work. and see if it's worth investing in fixing it back up. So first thing I need to do is put a cord on it so we can power it up. And it feels like it's got a Phillips screwdriver holding it here. And the cord runs up here to the IFR filter, and it's got 2 fuses. So let's see if we can get this screw out of here. I can get the screwdriver on it here. All right. Got that off. And it had a nice thick cord on it. It's a shame they cut it off. I'm going to go ahead and skin it back a little bit. Cut the tie straps loose so I have a little bit of room to work here. That's plenty. Forgot to bring my razor knife to trim the insulation. Okay, let me go get it. All right, let's see if we can get this stripped down. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a Molex connector on here, and I have a power cord with a matching Molex connector, and I'll just be able to plug it in. When I restore the cabinet, I'll probably just go ahead and wherever this connects up in the power distribution box up here, I'll probably just go ahead and put a whole new cord on it. But for the time being, just going to put a temporary fix on it here. Now when you're cutting a cord like this, because it helps to have a sharp knife here, I got a X-Acto knife with a new blade on it. Don't want to cut all the way through into the insulation. Cut it almost all the way through, and then it should peel right off. And if it don't, you can always go back and cut it. Boy, we've had a lot of rain here lately, and it's hot, and the mosquitoes are out. Mosquitoes are eating me up. That's why I got long sleeves on. Plus, a lot of people, I don't know, everybody's different, but when I'm out in the hot weather, I always wear long sleeves because you sweat and the material your shirt gets wet, and it actually acts as a cooler to cool you down. So, just a little tip. Try it. See if it works for you. All right. Now, let's see what we got here. This is the new cord. This was an Atari 8-foot AC line cord by the real Bob Roberts. I've had it for a while. I went ahead and changed the end on it. It had a connector here for an Atari block, power distribution block, but I went ahead and took it off and put a regular Molex on it because I didn't have a matching connector. Normally I would, but I didn't, so I had to go with the flow. So I'm using that type of connector right now. So these have female ends on them, so I need to put the male ends and then stick them in here. So let me get my pins out here. And I'm going to need, these are .093 pins. I'm going to need 3 of them here. Yeah, the mosquitoes are, they found them here. They're really good little vampires. All right, get my wire strippers here. And these are close enough. Let's see, what gauge is this? It says on the cord 18 gauge. So we'll put it in 18 gauge. And cut the ends of them off. Alright, I get my crimpers. Line them up here, make sure I got them like I want them. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. That one didn't go as planned. I believe these are for a smaller wire, for the insulation to be a little smaller. So I'm gonna have to start them here. Nope, I'm gonna have to go get my other crimpers. Alright, let's see if we can get something accomplished this time. Got my old trusty crimpers here. All right. Okay, get in there this time. All right. All right, 2 down, 1 more to go. Then we can put some juice to this pig. Okay. Give him a little tug. Looks good. All right. Now I need my cord. And these are color coded properly, but you have to check, especially if somebody has put a new end on your cord, because you can get the hot and the neutral mixed up backwards. Usually in a 110 power, the black is the hot, the white is the neutral, and the green is the ground. And if you just match those up, you should be good to go, if somebody hasn't changed them. So you need to check that, just to be on the safe side, because you don't want to put your hot on the neutral side and the neutral on the hot side. You will have a problem. All right. Green goes in the middle. And last but not least, the hot. And there we have it. Now we have a power cord. And we can finally fire this thing up. Now, what are we going to fire up? Okay, I've already, there's no game board in it. We have the power supply, we have the monitor, and of course the marquee light, which, looking at it from the back side here, don't think that's going to work. But you never know. The tube has dark marks on both ends, so that's usually a sign that the tube is shot. But we're not worried about that. What we mainly want to do is find out if the power supply is working, and if it is, then we know we're good to hook the board up. But we also want to check out the monitor, see if the monitor's working. Now, the monitor has some goofy connections. This, of course, as we found out in the last video, is a CM 420H. It's a Toei Munson monitor. Okay. I've already unplugged the power. This is the power cord. And it looks pretty much like connectors that are used on like G07s for the yoke. So also the RGB sync wires here, they go to a connector that also looks like yoke wires. I don't have any of those spare, so I won't be able to hook up my test pattern generator to it unless I cut into these wires, and I don't want to do that. So we'll test the monitor with an actual PC board. I can stick a known good PC board in here to try out the monitor before we hook up the heavy barrel board. But first we have to see if we got proper voltage. So anyway, for right now I've unhooked the monitor. No power going to the monitor. The ground wire come loose here. That goes to the frame of the monitor. I've already sort of figured out that's where that goes, so I'll replace that. But yeah, let's go ahead and plug it in, fire it up, and we'll test that power supply that's hiding down there. Okay, let's power it up. It's got an on-off switch up on the very top here. Kind of wish it was down at the back. Let me flip it on. I hear something buzzing. It's probably the marquee light. I'm pretty sure that's not going to come on. Yeah, the marquee light is trying to come on, but the bulb's burnt out. It's just glowing on the ends. All right, I've looked over this power supply. So we should have juice going to the power supply now. And it doesn't have an indicator light on it. And I can't see a 5-volt voltage adjustment on it. So I'm not sure. This may be the original power supply that was in the Century game. I'm not familiar with Century games, so I don't really know for sure, but it's mounted in the same place that the ones I've seen online, the games are, and it looks very similar. So I'm thinking that it is. So anyway, let's see if we got 5 volts. See if I can get to it here. I already got the ground hooked up to my probe here, and this should be 5 volts. Let's see what we're getting. And let's see if we can get that in the camera. 5.31. Huh. Okay, that looks good. All right, the next one should be -5. And we're getting -4.53. That's pretty normal. And the last one is 12 volt. And let's see what we're getting. 11.52. So yeah, power supply looks good. Now let me see if we're getting AC to the monitor here. So we'll change this over to AC. And let me get you where you can get a view of it here. All right, let's see if we got AC voltage here. I don't know if you can see that. getting 108.6. So that's a little low. Don't know if this is a 100-volt monitor or not. I don't think so. It could be because I'm running a long extension cord. I don't have power out to my garage right now. I haven't fixed the underground wire. So I got a long extension cord running out here. So that may be why the voltage is reading low. Let me get a voltage reading coming right off of the connector before it goes into the transformer here. Just unplug it here. Let's see what we got directly coming into the line cord. All right, we got 120.5. So evidently that transformer is cutting the voltage down to 108 volts. Well, that shouldn't be a problem because that's the original monitor that was in this game. So let's power it up and see if we get a raster. As you can see, that marquee light is trying to light, but yeah, definitely tube is burned out. So I'll have to look around. I know I got tubes here somewhere, I just have to find them. Let's throw some juice to it and see what the monitor does. Now, since I don't have a plug to put my test pattern generator on it, I went ahead and put my 60-in-1 game, plugged it into the jam harness. If it blows it up, no big deal. So, I also got a camera recording the backside of the monitor. So if we see any smoke and flames, we'll get that on film or video. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire that baby up. All right, power is on. Don't see any smoke. Whoops. We got not a very good picture there, huh? At least we got something. See, I always get this mixed up. Is that partial vertical collapse? Because this is vertical and this would be horizontal. So yeah, that's vertical, partial vertical collapse. And it's got a fold in it here. So I'd say the monitor needs a cap kit at the very least. I see no smoke or anything. Let me see if I got any adjustments on the back that might. Well, we got the game booted. We got sound. All right, let me see what we got for controls here. Vertical height, vertical hold, brightness, horizontal hold, and a couple that they're not listed. Let's try the horizontal hold. No, wait a minute, that's vertical. Let's try the vertical hold. I believe the horizontal is off too. Let's try the horizontal hold now. Okay, that's all the way one way. Bring it back a little bit. Let's try the vertical height. Somebody might have been playing with these controls. The vertical height is having an effect on it. Well, that looks like as good as it's going to get. I would say a cap kit might straighten this out. The colors look good. I got reds, I got blues. Green's a little dull looking, but that could be an adjustment. Well, let's see if the joystick should work. I unhooked the rotary because the rotary is not hooked up on this, but the joystick should still be hooked up through the JAMA connection. Yes. How about a little Phoenix? Shield work, fireworks. So all the controls seem to be working. I got 2 ships on there. So that tells me it's something to do with the sink. The sink is not right. Or it's just folded over so bad. Wow. Yeah, it's really folded over bad. So need to order a cap kit for the monitor and see if we can straighten the monitor out. But that's good news. We're getting this much of it to work. Should we try the heavy barrel board just to see if it comes up? Why not? Let's go for it. We cut this off. We know the voltages are good, so it's not going to hurt the board. So let me take the 60-in-1 board out. And let's put in the heavy barrel. If I can get it to hook up. I don't think it's going to reach. Okay, well, we got it in. Let's cross the fingers, see what happens. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. And look at there. That looks like heavy barrel to me. Let me see if I can dial the monitor in a little bit here. Okay, well, that looks about as good as the 60-1 did. Insert coins. Let's open up the coin door. Let's see if it'll coin up. I believe it did. Yep, there we go. Player 1. Now, I don't have the rotary sticks hooked up, but the joystick should work. Yeah, we got movement, forward, back, left and right. We got fire. We got grenades. I believe we have a working board. Monitor screwed up, so evidently they set this game up because of the monitor. I guess they just didn't have anybody who knew how to work on it. But here at Arcade Fix, we can fix it. So we're going to fix it. So let me go ahead and get a cap kit ordered for this. And we'll pull the monitor and put it on the bench and see if we can't get this monitor straightened out. So with that, I'm going to end this video right here. It does appear that one man's trash is another man's treasure, because we're going to bring this rough cabinet and we're gonna find out if we can really polish a turd and bring it back. I've seen a lot worse, so I'm not worried about that. We can fix the cabinet. We have the tools, we have the technology, we have the knowledge. It's just going to take time, but we're going to start by getting the monitor fixed, and I'd like to get it set up to where I can play this game to find out if I like the game or not. That will determine what I go forward with. Will I keep this heavy barrel and just restore the cabinet? Or could we sell the game board and the controls and get the money we need to reinvest in the cabinet to maybe turn this back into a Phoenix? Or better yet, we can jamatize it and get an original Phoenix board and get a jammer adapter for it, and we can put a switcher in here and we can make this a multi game. We can have Phoenix, we can have Pleiades, maybe we can find an Eagle, Moon Crester or something. And there's one more game, the fourth game, which is an unofficial bootleg. Anybody know what it is? Yes, that is a possibility too. So the possibilities are endless. So with that said, this is it for another Arcade Fix. Have you had your Arcade Fix today?